Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, I'm going to do a review on squares, square roots, and powers. This is day one of D-Streamed Grade 9 Math. All right. So here it says for 1A, write each expression as a power, do not evaluate. So let's remind ourselves how we do this. Well, we're going to look for the base, and then however many times we're multiplying the same number, that's going to be our power. So here we have 6 multiplied 4 times, so this would be 6 to the power of 4. What about B? 9 is multiplied 4 times, so this is 9 to the power of 4. 12 is just there once, so I'm just going to say this is 12 to the power of 1. 15 is multiplied twice, so 15 squared, or to the power of 2. Looks like 8 is here 5 times, so it's 8 to the power of 5. And then in the last one, 5 is here 7 times, so this is 5 to the power of 7. All right, so just a quick review on that. Okay, the next one says, find each square root without using a calculator. So what is a square root? It's the opposite. They're saying what number times what number would give us the number under the square root sign. So in the case of 4, it would be 2. Why? Because 2 times 2 is equal to 4, right? So whatever number squared or multiplied by itself one more time would give us the number under the square root. That's the answer. Similarly, for b, the square root of 9 would be 3, because 3 times 3 is 9. The square root of 100, well, that's 10, because 10 times 10 equals 100. The square root of 49 is 7, because 7 times 7 is 49. What about 1? Well, 1 times 1 is 1, so this would just be 1. And this last one would be 12, because 12 times 12 is 144. So with these ones, if you're well and familiar with just your times tables, this one won't be too tough, because you'll be able to pretty easily figure out what times the same thing as itself will give us what's under the square root. If this was troubling, I do suggest reviewing the squares and reviewing those timetables, because it is going to help you get faster throughout your mathematics career. Okay, let's try example 3. It says here, evaluate each power using a scientific or graphic calculator. Okay, so this one is maybe not quite as important, but I still want to go through this one. But for this one, you can use your calculator to find the answers. Just make sure you find the power button on the calculator, and then you press the base power button, and then the power, right? So this one, the first one, you would press 7 exponent 5 equals. For the second one, 3 exponent 8 equals. Okay? So just make sure you're aware of how to use the calculator, because on tests, right, you'll be able to have a calculator a lot of times, but you might not be allowed to have like a cell phone or the computer. So do make sure you're able to do it on just a regular calculator is important and is going to be key here. Okay. Let's move on to the third one, which has to do with coins. It says, use the formula area equals pi r squared to determine the area of one face of each coin. Round your answers to one decimal place. Okay, so let's do that. Let's see. So a penny is 9.5 millimeters for radius. So if we do that and say a equals pi r squared, in this case r is 9.5. So we'll do r times 9.5 squared. So what is 9.5 squared? Let's grab our calculators and find out what 9.5 squared is, or 9.5 times 9.5, same thing. That's going to be 90.25 times pi. So there's two ways to do pi. You can either do multiplied by and then press the pi button on your calculator, which is often second function 3 on a lot of calculators, not all though. Or you can multiply by 3.1415 and then press enter. 3.1415 is not exactly what pi is, but it is approximately equal to pi. And so the answer we get then should be 283.520375. Now they said to round to the nearest one decimal point, so I'm just going to do 283.5 and call it good. So it's going to be 283.5 square millimeters. Awesome. Okay, let's do B, which is nickel. For nickel, it's 1 centimeter. So A would just be pi times 1 squared, which 1 squared is just 1. So that's going to be equal to just pi. Now, what is pi? Pi is 3.14159 and so on. So let's just round that to 3.1 centimeters squared and call it good. Okay, let's try C. For dime is going to be 9 millimeters. So pi times 9 squared is going to be 81 pi. And if we type that into our calculator, we'll get 254.5 millimeters squared. There we go. All right, D is a quarter. So D is going to be pi 1.2 squared, which is going to be, let's see, what's 1.2 squared? That's 1.44 times pi, which is equal to 4.5 centimeters squared. Awesome. All right, then we have E, which is going to be pi times 5.3 squared, which is 28.09 pi, which if we multiply that by pi, we're going to get, oh no, sorry, it's not, where did I get 5.3 from? I'm not sure. That is not right. E says 1.3, not 5.3. Let's fix that. So 1.3 squared is 1.69 pi, which is equal to 5.3 centimeters squared.